An investment in knowledge always pays the best interest. A very good morning to one and all. I'm elated to welcome you all to the webinar on recent advances in cancer, a special series on breast cancer. I call upon Dr. Shivram Hariharan to welcome the gathering.
Good morning, everybody. I am Dr. Sivaram from PSG College of Pharmacy, and I take this opportunity to welcome the speaker, Dr. Parthasarathy. So it's an honor to have you here as part of the webinar series that we are conducting here on behalf of the PSG College of Pharmacy. And I also welcome all the students, both from our college as well as from outside, and also the staff from outside. And I will now hand this webinar over to Mr. Muthu Krishnan to introduce Dr. Parthasarathy. Thank you very much. Welcome once again.
Thank you so much, sir. Actually, it's my great pleasure to introduce our introduce sound. Very good morning to all of you. I would like to express my sincere thanks to the administration of PSG College, Principal Professor M. Ramanathan sir. Of course, sir is my senior in Annamalai University. He is a pioneer in neurological studies. And I wish to express my thanks to the principal organizers of the conference, Dr. Muthu Krishnan, Dr. Shruti, Dr. Cheryl, Dr. Mohan Saranya, and Sivaram for introducing me. And I hope my lecture on recent advances in cancer, a special emphasis on breast cancer, will be useful to the audience. The message, whatever I'm going to give on this lecture, will be useful to the society to battle against cancer. The topics I'm going to cover in these lectures: overview of cancer and breast cancer, immunological relevance to cancer, drug discovery so far done for this treatment of cancer, factors influencing the prevalence of cancer. The overview of cancer. The cancer is a hyperproliferative disorder that involves transformation, dysregulation of properties, proliferation, invasion, angiogenesis, and metastasis. A normal cell will become a cancerous cell. It's nothing but a transformation. Once the cell is becoming cancerous, it's not responding to the apoptosis. Apoptosis is nothing but it is a programmed cell death. It will happen to the normal cell, but this process will not control the cancer cells. Proliferation. The proliferation of the cells is abundant in cancer as compared to the normal cell. Invasion, moving off or spreading off or moving off this cancer cell from one place to another place. And there is an invasion. If it goes to the distant part of the organ, that is called as metastasis. Once this metastasis starts, there will be a formation of new blood vessels supplying. That condition is called the angiogenesis. So that's the cancer is spreading from one organ to another organ. There, the cancer cells are becoming very comfortable. Then it makes its own way for the blood supply. And that process is called as angiogenesis. This cancer occurs due to accumulation of gene mutations. The gene mutations may occur of various reasons. It may be of inheritary or it may be of result of the environmental factors. The cancer metastasis, here I am showing this image. This is a cancer. This cancer is gradually the cancer cells is moving into the bloodstream. Once these bloodstreams take these blood cells, that's the cancer cells in the different places, and it's coming to the another distant spot. There it will be start growing. There, these cells will be making its own way of survival by making the blood supply. This is the major problem for the treatment of metastasis to the cancer. It's very difficult to treat because multiple places it's spread. Global cancer burden. Cancer is the second leading cause of deaths globally, an estimate of 9.6 million deaths in 2018. Globally, 1 in 6 deaths are due to cancer. The consumption of the tobacco is the most important risk factor for cancer and is responsible for approximately 22% of the cancer globally. This is in addition to that, hepatitis virus, human papilloma virus is also responsible for up to 25% of the cancer in low and middle income countries. So India is also a middle income country. We are not rich country. The second economic impact of the cancer is significant and increasing globally. The total annual economic loss, we can say this is a loss, cost of cancer in US in 2010 was approximately $1.16 trillion. The cancers of lung, bronchus, and trachea is account for the largest cancers. It's a drain nearly $1.8 billion, $180 billion globally. The smokers die an average of 15 years earlier than non-smokers. If the current trends continue of the consumption of the tobacco will kill several million people around 2020 annually, and 8 million people per year by 2030. 2030 million people, so 8 million people will die in 2030. So as compared are increasing, and more than 80% of the deaths taking place in low and middle income countries. In future, 1/3 of those deaths are as a result of cancer. Now 1 in 6 they are telling, 1 in 6 cases, deaths are due to cancer. Now in 2030, it will be of 1 in 3 cases are due to cancer death. The most common cancers and the worldwide deaths rates, predominantly this lung cancer is first now, and it's account for 1.76 million deaths. Colorectal cancer 0.86 million, stomach cancer 0.78 million, liver cancer 0.78, and breast cancer 0.627 million deaths. In 184 countries, it was estimated that 14 million new cases of cancer were recorded recently. And the prevalence of cancer in India, cancer is a major public health problem in developing countries like India. 3 million cases of cancers were estimated in India. Nearly 0.9 million cases were newly diagnosed. About 0.55 million deaths are due to cancer. The incidence and the mortality of cancer worldwide. The world map: Eastern Africa, Middle Africa, Northern Africa, South Africa, and Western Africa, Caribbean countries were in the first position in cancer deaths, cancer prevalence as well as deaths. So it's encircled, red color encircled. This is 12. We are in the middle, Central Asia. So this Asia country, India, comes under this 12th position. It's a previous scenario. Currently, we are moving very fast towards third and fourth position. Our India was better position, 12th position previously, because of uncontrolled pollutions and irrational use of drugs and other chemicals. Because of that, our country is not in safe zone. We are going forward towards third and fourth positions currently. Unless we are taking these precautions, stringent actions, we will be, death rates in India will be increased abundantly. Now I am going to discuss about breast cancer. Next to lung cancer. Every year, 75,000 new cases of breast cancer are reported in India, out of which small but increasing number from men. The male also having the breast cancer, but the rate of percentage will be 1 to 2% of breast cancer. So there will be chances for the men also for getting this breast cancer. In future, this figure will be increased due to factors such as environment, food habits, consumption of genetically modified foods. This breast cancer is a very advanced stage of breast cancer. Even mastectomy and other things also not possible to treat. So this is a male breast cancer. This nipple and other parts is having the cancerous. This is a male breast cancer image. The breast cancers are identified using this physical examination. By our palm, we have to, opposite side, we have to keep left palm in the right breast and right palm in the left breast. We have to keep and press, and we have to identify is there any mass. This should be repeatedly done by the female. And if they suspect that there will be any pain or mass in the breast, they have to go for this medical advice. The doctor will be advised to go for the mammogram. Previously, painful mammogram machines were there that will be compressed. That machine will be compressed the breast, and using this X-ray examination, they will take this image. Nowadays, non-painful mammograms instruments were available. Without any pain, we can take this mammogram of breast. So you can see this mammogram image. Left side is a normal breast, and the right one is a cancerous breast. You can see this mass. This is a calcification. You can see the calcification in this region. This region is a cancerous mass. But as compared to this is a normal breast. Genetic testing. Our India, we are not having that facility. Even US also, limited places, they are having this genetic testing facility. There is a mutation of BRCA1 and BRCA2 genes. Normally, these two genes are tumor suppressor genes, and these genes are involved in the progression of breast cancer as well as ovarian cancer if there is a mutation of these genes. Germline mutations of BRCA1 and BRCA2 genes have impact on the progression of breast cancer and ovarian cancer. It's leading to the lifetime risk. And if this mutation is there with these genes or not, we have to need this genetic analysis. I don't know in India which hospital is doing this one, but in Harvard University they have got this facility. If there will be a familial history of breast cancer or any other cancer, suppose the grandfather have got the cancer, the son will be, or granddaughter, grandson will report to the hospital, my grandfather have got the cancer, but unfortunately my father didn't get. And is there is any possible for me to get this cancer? They will go for the genetic analysis of the gene. And finally they will come to know that there is no any mutations. You come after 1 year or 2 years for one more test. Like that we can predict if there will be a possibility of genetic mutations in the genes that can be easily predicted with the help of this genetic analysis. And once it's screened, we will be very safe. We will not prone for this cancer. And this mastectomy is one of the technique they are using to treat the cancer. This is remove this breast, and that will be avoiding this spread of cancer. And treatment for the breast cancer, the first option, they will go for surgery, radiation, and enucleation, chemotherapy. The doctors, based on the conditions of the patient, the doctor will be decide which one is most suitable for them. If the patient is in advanced and critical conditions, the first options, they will go for surgery. If the patients at the preliminary conditions, this is stage 1, they will go for radiation, followed by chemotherapy, and then they will go for surgery. And this is depending upon the patient's conditions, the doctor will be deciding which one will be more up for better treatment. And most of the anti-cancer drugs, chemotherapeutic agents currently used for the treatment are developing resistant. Sometimes there will be chances of recurrence of this cancer. The conventional chemotherapy and the radiotherapy also having a lot of problems. Radiation therapy and the chemotherapy is very painful, and the radiation therapy will be causing a lot of damage over this body, skin, and oral mucous membrane. Everything will be burned off. We cannot take food, the hair loss, many things will be happen. And because of that, there is a need of an alternative method or strategy to treat breast cancer. The new strategy may be a new drug delivery system. We should not develop any resistance to the cancer cell. At the same time, so we have to go for this new drug delivery system. We should avoid the pain during this chemotherapy. Mastectomy is nothing but the removal of breast. There are 5 types of mastectomy: simple, total modified, radical, partial, and subcutaneous. சொல்லுங்க சொல்லுங்க. எதுல இருந்துங்க? கூகுள்.
ஓகேங்க.
வருதா? எந்த ஸ்லைடு விட்டு போச்சு கிருஷ்ணன்? கிருஷ்ணன் எந்த ஸ்லைடு விட்டு போச்சுங்க? இதுக்கு முன்னாடி தான் mastectomy is nothing but the removal of breast. There are 5 different types of mastectomy: simple, total, modified, radical, partial, and subcutaneous mastectomy. In US, if you go for this treatment, first they will be identifying the status of the patient. If the patient is in the stage 1 or stage 2, they will start with the radiation therapy. After that, they will go for the chemotherapy. At last, after 5 months of the diagnosis of the disease, they will go for the surgery. What is the aim? Since I was working in the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, Harvard Medical School, I was accompanied with a patient. She got a breast cancer. The doctor, we were wondering why this doctor is delaying the therapy. Why don't you go for, since it's a cancer is very fast, why they didn't go for the surgery immediately? That doctor, that madam told that, no, this cancer should be controlled first. The periphery of the cancer should be reduced. For that, they have given the radiation. The radiation will be shunt on the cancer mass. Then further chemotherapy will be given. It will be further reduces the spreading ability of the cancer cells. Then if they go for this surgery, and it will be a successful treatment. Then they have that in radiation therapy. Usually in US, they are following the radiation therapy, chemotherapy followed by surgery, the mastectomy. While they are doing this removal of this breast, they are removing the lymph nodes as well. Removing the lymph nodes and underarm lymph nodes. And once the patients carried out this mastectomy, and their uterus should be monitored. The uterus of the woman patient should be monitored. And this treatment of breast cancer is nearly $3 lakhs US, is equivalent to 2 crores. This is a mastectomy with the removal of breast. Here this breast and underarm lymph nodes. Once this cancer is there in the left breast, there will be a possibility of this cancer cells to move into the underarm lymph nodes. Once it goes to the lymph nodes, it is a junction point. From there, it will be spread throughout the body. That's why they will go for removing the breast as well as the lymph nodes, particularly lymph nodes underarm. It's called as a lumpectomy. And this lymph node is called axillary lymph node. This is called as axillary lymph node dissection. So they are removing the breast as well as the lymph node. Altogether, there is no possibility of even there will be a breast, any cancer mass. It should not go to this lymph node. Once it goes to the lymph node, it will be goes very fast throughout the body. So another technology they are following years is 9NF technology. Is a very specialized technology to treat cancer by emphasizing electrical current to the cancer mass. There will be a involvement of, there will be a use of electrical probe. That the electrical probe to be inserted to the adjacent sites of the cancer mass. The electrical current will be passed. That current will be destroying the cancer cells in the cancer mass without affecting the normal cell. Nano-knife technology is adapted to treat breast cancer more efficiently than the other treatment options. You can see this video. I think it's not opening. Okay, I can go for this. It's not opening. So, what is the role of immunity in cancer? The immunity of the cancer patients is lost during the cancer. How it's happening? During HIV and infection and certain types of cancer and tuberculosis, white cells, particularly monocytes and macrophages, are stimulated by the cytokines and monokines to form a multinucleated giant cells, big cells, which is considered as a big cell consisting of thousands of nuclei. So, in the circulation, monocytes are in the circulation, macrophages are in the tissues. When there will be a stimulation by the external forces or the release of monokine cytokines, all the monocytes will come together and it will be fused together and forming a big cell. That big cell is consisting of thousands and thousands of nuclei. Initially, it will 20 nuclei forming, nuclear cells will be forming a big cell. Afterwards, next day, it will be thousands of cells will be joining together. One big cell will be there. Within that, there will be thousands of nuclei. This giant cell is considered as a dead cell. So this process is a cause for the loss of immune cell, red blood cell in the body. Once the monocytes were lost, it's a scavenger cell. T lymphocytes are doing some activity, B lymphocytes is doing activity. These monocytes and macrophages are scavenger cells, it's cleaning up this whole body. And if there will be a numbers of these cells were reduced, what will happen? Automatically our body immunity will be lost. You can see this is monocytes, this is phagocytic cells, this nucleus is kidney shape or bean shape. It's doing this phagocytosis process, which will be removing this foreign pathogens or dead cells, bacteria, virus, and other things. This is a process. This case, once these monocytes were get activated by the virus or bacteria or monokines or cytokines, some external forces, this you can see this is a big cells, multinucleated giant cells of monocyte. You can see this is a red color. All these things were monocytes nucleus. So you see that it is like a big lump cell. So it's not an active cell, it's a dead cells. Like this, every time in the person's blood, monocytes were lost. So this is basic root cause for the loss of immunological cells in the body. So we have to prove this, we have to improve the immunity. The immunity is playing a pivotal role in the suppression of cancer. During the cancer, immune system will be paralyzed, which leads to cancer AIDS. Like HIV infection leads to HIV AIDS. If the progression of cancer will lead to the cancer AIDS. Hence, if the patient's immunity is built up or improved, the cancer and the HIV infection will be a manageable diseases. Previously, diabetes was considered as a deadliest disease. After the discovery of insulin, now this insulin and other type 2 anti-diabetic drugs, now the diabetes is considered as a manageable disease, not that much very deadly disease. Like that, some immunological substance or immunostimulants to be discovered that will build up this immunity and improve the cell numbers of monocyte macrophages of the T lymphocytes, these lymphocytes. That is enough to keep our body stable, even if you have got cancer or AIDS. It will be a manageable disease. Now, after the infection of COVID, although there are several antiviral drugs are there in the world, nothing can be done. What the ancient histories, ancient scripts they have given, Siddhas they have given, this is the Kabasura Kudinir, Nilavembu Kashayam, what will happen? It will be improved immunity. That is enough to battle against this COVID-19. So this immunostimulant that Kashayam and other things were having, this immunostimulant, that is the battle against this COVID-19. Such types of things to be developed to treat cancer. If the immunity of the patient is improved, cancer and HIV could be a manageable diseases. Hence, the scientists across the world are focusing their attention to develop novel immunostimulant agent, which will be useful to treat cancer and other immunological diseases. So you can see this is a microarray. This is a human breast micro slide. This is one section of the breast section. You can see this is a cancer mass. Cancer is progression here. During this cancer, this is encircled with the green color. You can see this a lot of blue dots, dark blue dots. This is a blue dots is nothing but a migration of immune cells. It may be white blood cells, T lymphocytes, and monocytes. Everything is migrating into the cancer sites. This area, there is one war is going on, one battle is going on. So this is a cancer cell is considered as a new foreign cell. It will be recognized by the T lymphocytes and the monocytes. It's migrating towards the cancer site. There is a battle is going on. Battle between these white blood cells and the cancer. At the time, the cancer is convincing the white blood cell, no, I am normal cell only, don't kill me, don't destroy me. Such types of things, it's perfectly it's doing to escape from this death. So that's why it's cheating one group of white blood cells. One group of white blood cells is trusting that during this cancer progression, this cancer cells are considered as normal cells. Like that, one group of cells are considering. Other white blood cells will not be considering that this is a normal cell. So there will be a difference of opinion among these white blood cells. One group of cells is believing that cancer is a normal cell. Another group of white blood cells are believing that this is not a normal cell. So under conditions, what happened? We need a lot of researchers. What are the cells who are not believing? What are the cells who are believing that cancer is a normal cell? So once we identify that the link between the normal cell to cancer, the link between the abnormal cell to the cancer cell to the not believing cells to be identified. So we have to do the research. This is a cancer site. There will be one group of cell. That groups of cells is not believing the cancer. So that cells will be called as a suppressor cells of cancer. Suppress the cancer growth. Another cell is supporting the cancer growth. That supports the cancer growth. So we have to find out the link. Through what link these cells are supporting the cancer growth. How these cells are sensing that this is a abnormal cell. Everything is based on receptor. Everything is based on receptor. So there has to be a handshaking. One person is humming and you are meeting your friend. First, nowadays, we are not handshaking. But previously, what we'll do, we will handshake, hug. And then this is a handshaking. We are giving a hand to another person. He will give his hand. It will be handshaking. So like that, this is supporting cell, the cells which are supporting the cancer growth, is extending its support through some receptor to the cancer cells. So we have to find out what is that receptor. Once we found that receptor, the link between this cancer and this supporting cancer growth cells can be disconnected. Once this link between this cancer supporting cells and cancer is disconnected, automatically the suppressing cells will be destroying the cancer because it's an enemy. These suppressing cells are enemy to the cancer. These cells was friend to the cancer. So we have to disconnect this link. This link we have to disconnect. Automatically this cancer suppressing cells will be destroying the cancer growth. So these are the various receptors. Is cell membrane receptor, membrane protein. CD15. CD is nothing but the clusters of differentiation. This is a 4 transmembrane protein, like G protein coupled receptor is a 7th transmembrane protein. Like this, these receptors are 4 transmembrane protein. This is a membrane. This is a 2-layer lines are there. It's a membrane. Oh, this membrane, this protein is going up and down, up and down, up and down. This is crossing this membrane, cell membrane 4 times, 1 time, 2 time, 3 times, 4 times. Like that, this is another group. 1 time is crossing the membrane, second time, third time, fourth time. So it's called as tetraspanning. These proteins are called as tetraspanning. Our other name is called the CD151, CD63. And in addition, that's matrix metalloproteinase. Matrix metalloproteinase is another group of proteins. That proteins MMP will be called as MMP 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So many MMP proteins are there. That proteins also involved in this cancer growth. So actin bundling proteins. This is also growth promoting membrane proteins involved in this cancer growth. Very recently, our research group is established. There is a relationship between this cancer and cancer supporting cell, and there will be involvement of a specific newly discovered receptor. So many companies have developed TGF-beta receptor antagonist, commercial products. Now commercial anti-cancer drugs are available. Anti-TGF-beta receptor antagonist. It is used to control this cancer growth. And I have carried out the research in 2002. I have started my research on tetraspanning, CD63, CD15, CD81, and I have got a good results in my PhD program in UK, and I got this publication in immunology and virology. That's a high impact factor journals, and immunology is published in British Society for Immunology. Another paper is in virology, published in US American Association of Virology. That's papers are high impact factor journals. That's published in 2007-8. After that, I am continuing my research. I want to prove that link between this cancer supporting cell and cancer. And finally, I visited Professor Martin Hemmler lab in US Harvard University. He is known for discovery of integrins. He is the person who discovered these integrins. Very topmost research. He has published several papers in Cell Science, Nature. Nature company frequently ask him to submit a review article from him. Any opinion about this cancer and other things, he will be the person to give this opinion globally. And in his lab, I have started my research. That research are focused on the immunoglobulin superfamily 8. Very recent discoveries are concerning to the immunological relevance of various receptors. Recent Nobel Prizes also related to this immunostimulant, gene therapy and other things. Based on that, we have started our research on this immunoglobulin superfamily 8 protein. It's otherwise called a CD316. This is a cellular structure. We will, in the book and other things, we will see the cell will be a rectangular shape. There will be a nucleus. There will be a cytoplasm. Dot 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 like that. We'll put. It's not that the cell will be looks like this. This is a cell membrane, bilayer membrane. The top you can see this is several membrane proteins, and this is a plasma membrane. And within that cytoplasm will be there. This is a double layer of this region. This is cell membrane, double layer, the lipoprotein layer. You can see this is ring-like structures are the membrane proteins. We can call it as some of the membrane proteins also called as a receptor. If it is binding, any drugs are binding to a membrane protein, that membrane protein will be called as a receptor. Otherwise, some receptors will be doing some functional studies, functional activities of the cells. Some of the receptors are doing acting as a drug receptor. So here, this receptor, I am interested for that immunoglobulin superfamily 8. This is a red color, and it looks like this in this cell surface. This molecule is 65 kilodalton weight, and it's having 4 domains. Ig domain, immunoglobulin domain. This is one domain, another domain. This is another domain. This is another domain. This is a cell membrane. Out of this cell membrane, you can see this. This is a cell membrane bilayer. This is one domain, 2 domain, 3 domain, 4 domain. These domains is encoded with total 613 amino acids. 613 amino acids all together from this top to bottom, this down to up. Total 613 amino acids were encoded for this protein, but we are interested for this region only, from this out of cell membrane, 1, 2, 3, 4. This region only we were interested, and this was first reported by the Professor Martin Himmler group in 2008-9. And after that, this is a structure of immunoglobulin superfamily 8, which is appearing on this surface of the cell membrane. Adjacent partner molecule, immunoglobulin superfamily 8, this is a superfamily 8 molecule. Adjacent partner molecules are CD151, CD8 and tetraspin. These cancer progression or cancer suppression, everything done by the cell signaling pathway, there will be involvement of IGS-8 and tetraspin. Altogether, it's a clusters. The side on the cell surface is like a clusters. This is doing this function, either it's metastasis or proliferation or suppression, whatever the activity. So this is a protein sequence of immunoglobulin superfamily 8. Finally, to prove that my concept, whether this IGSF8 is involved in the linking of cancer supporting cell with the cancer mass. So we have done this cloning, DNA synthesis, and cloning. That cloning I have used a baculovirus. It's a specialized technology. The technology was used for making vaccine for H1N1. That technology I have done. That technology I have cloned successfully. I have made this DNA, and then finally I have made a recombinant form of immunoglobulin superfamily. Whatever the receptor is naturally expressing on the cell surface, recombinant protein is purified with the help of this HPLC, and I have got a good amount of product. That with that recombinant protein, I have carried out in vitro studies using various cell lines, cancer cell lines, particularly breast cancer cell line. I have made a remarkable contribution on this study, and I have proved that there is immunoglobulin superfamily 8 protein only is giving the link, handshaking with the cancer mass. This is a cancer. This immunoglobulin superfamily 8 is giving the bridge between the cancer and the white blood cell, particularly supporting cell. Once this is proven, and if you make any inhibitors, if you target this immunoglobulin superfamily 8 protein, and it will be break this link. The inhibitor will break the link between the immunoglobulin superfamily. Inhibitor against immunoglobulin superfamily 8 will break this link between the supporting cell with the cancer mass. Automatically, what will happen? These immune cells will start destroying the cancer. So this is ultimate idea. So we have proven that idea. Based on that, we have predicted the 3D structures of immunoglobulin superfamily 8 using this software. That software is called Schrödinger, and very expensive software we have used. We have made a remarkable contributions. After that, we have made this is the compound against immunoglobulin superfamily 8 inhibitor we have developed. 14 compounds we have developed. Out of these 2 compounds we are showing promising action that were submitted for Indian patents. Although several technology and drugs has been made to treat cancer, the success rate is very slow. To avoid the cancer, people should live in a standard living condition with a clean environment and the proper food habits. So we have developed the drug. Even that, how many people can afford for that? A very expensive therapy. Already I told in US, everyone is covered with the insurance. Because of that, they can opt for a good proper health care. And for that, still we are growing. To avoid this cancer, the people should live in a standard living conditions with a clean environment. That's the most important things to avoid the cancer. A recent breast cancer. So if there will be a possibility of family genetic mutations, there will be a possibility of transmission to one generation to another generation. And inherited genes is the cause for this increasing chance for this breast cancer. Exposure to radiation. Every day we are exposing to the radiation, a huge amount of radiation. We are not countless. We are not knowing the fact that radiation in the form of cell phones, microwave, cell phone tablets, TV, computers. Everything is the radiation sources. Environmental factors also causing this breast cancer and other cancer by causing the gene mutation. Obesity is also one of the reasons for this cancer. Consumption of alcohol, smoking, and the habits also causing this cancer. I am coming to this scientific part I have completed now. I am going for this environmental toxicants, how these are responsible for this cancer. The toxicants are carcinogens are responsible for the cancer. All toxicants damage or mutate the cell by producing the free radicals. The carcinogens are classified into three types. One is a physical carcinogen, chemical carcinogen, biological carcinogen. The physical carcinogen, ultraviolet and ionizing radiation. But basically in the schools, the PET, physical education training program, classes will be conducted in the evening. 3 to 4, 4 to 5 like that they will keep. And what is the reason? At the time, mild ultraviolet radiations will come from the sun to earth. Skins to produce vitamin D. For that evening, they have allowed these students to go for play. Nowadays, what's happened? These PET classes are conducted in the morning. 11 to 10, whatever the convenient for the school they are conducting. At that time, the peak time, high intense radiation will come from the sun. High intense UV radiation is also exposed to the skin. It will be causing the damage of our DNA. So this is a physical carcinogen. And another thing is this thickness of the ozone layer is also reduced. The highly abundant cosmic radiations are coming from the sun to earth. So this is a physical carcinogen. Chemical carcinogens, we are living under the asbestos, consumption of tobacco products, either in the form of cigarettes or panbarak or any other chewables, aflatoxins. Aflatoxin, we are coming in detail with this aflatoxins. Biological carcinogens, viruses, also responsible for the cancer. Bacteria and parasites also causing this cancer. Oxidative stress, how these things are happening. Once either this physical or chemical or biological carcinogens, particularly the physical and chemical carcinogens, cause oxidative stress to the cell. Once these carcinogens induces the free radical formations, the free radicals will be damaged the cell surface and cell cycle and signaling pathway. That's why that DNA of cells will be damaged. This is how this normal cell, and after it is attacked by these free radicals, the cells will be like shrunken. You can say this a full grape. One grape is a fresh grape. Its texture is very fine, shiny. Once we are keeping these grapes in sunlight, what will happen? It will be start shrinking. Once it's shrinking, what's happened? After it's completely shrink, there will be damage on this cell membrane. Like that, this normal cells, once on exposure to these radicals, this will be causing damaged cell. Like that, once this damage is caused DNA mutation, other things will happen. And then there will be progression of the cancer. This is a DNA repair. You can see that this is a normal DNA. On free radical exposure, the DNA will be break. That's called as a DNA break. And the DNA break leads to a cancer. If the DNA break is not happen, it will be a normal DNA. It will be there is a formation of cell with the normal texture. So there is a lot of recipes going on for this DNA repair throughout the world. DNA, if a DNA is repaired, how can we correct it? That's a DNA repairing process. DNA methylation and other studies are going throughout the world. And one of the another carcinogens is the pesticide spraying of the pesticides over this agriculture field. And the people who are living near to the agriculture field always exposed to this type of pesticides. If the pesticides is inhaled by the surrounding people, it will be causing the cell damage. There will be a formation of free radicals and gene mutations, and carcinoma of lung and other diseases also will be occur. Effluent from the industries and vehicles are the major toxicants which will be polluted, and it's also causing this thrust of oxygen to the body, and also responsible for the free radical damage to our these cells. You can see this effluent from the industry. You can, when we go to this agra, here in industry, you can see throughout India there will be a lot of chemical industries. That chemical industries, the effluence is coming out like anything, the smelling like anything. But nowadays the government is taking a lot of stringent actions to control this effluent. When we go to this Agra UP to Delhi, nearly 4 hours journey I had in this national highway. When I was visiting our college for this inspection at the time, I have seen that area there will be brick chambers, around thousands of chambers I have seen, very tall chambers. It is that's effluent. All these things are functioning in the summer. These dust particles, the carbon particles are coming out of these brick chambers, and lot of carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide. Everything is coming. Because of that, only this release affecting like that the people are blaming Uttar Pradesh. And that types of things also causing this oxygen shortage to the body, and the cells will be starving for oxygen, and because of that also cells will be mutated. So carbon particles also causing this lung cancer. So this is matters this cancer progression. Burning of plastics. The plastics, if simply people are in the home, they are dumping this plastic material and they are carrying it off. It's not a correct way. It should be properly disposed of. Now the plastic, although the plastic is banned, still there will be a lot of usage of plastic throughout the country, and because of the packaging materials and other things, so plastic material. So once we are burning this plastic material, there will be a release of hydrochloric acid, sulfur dioxide, dioxins, furans, and heavy metals. That burning place, all the material will be of settled down in the soil. During this raining, it will go down. That water will be contaminated. And if you are firing, the sulfur dioxide and other things will be mixed up with the environment. The surrounding will be inhale that. That will be also causing this immune suppression. It's causing the stress human immune system. This is a potential carcinogen. And the impact of diet and lifestyle, this is also reason for this cancer, food and cancer. We have to avoid the sweetening agent. The persons who are diabetic, they are going for this alternative sugar substitutes. It may be of monosodium glutamate, sucralose, aspartame, sodium benzoate, and these chemicals were used as an alternative for the sugar. This is to be our artificial sweetening agents are responsible for promoting this cancer. It should be avoided. Residual pesticides in the vegetables and fruits, it's also another problem. So nowadays, during the mango season starts, and we go for this buying these mangoes. That mangoes are unripened. To get this marketing, the merchants are buying these unripened mangoes from the garden. They are spraying chemicals. After tomorrow, today's they are spraying. Tomorrow, these fruits are get ready for this eating. But the color will be fine, mango color, and smell. It will not be giving this proper ripened mangoes, but it's having this contamination of these types of chemical. And insecticides and pesticides sprayed over these fruits and vegetables and flowers and other things. That's also is one of the high risk factors. It will be consumed. That's food items consumed. particularly the methylparathion, parathion, dazinone, and cypermethrin. These are the commonly used pesticides in the agriculture field. It will be goes to the system. It will be causing this suppression of the human cells, immune systems. And the insects, that's insecticide removal from the vegetable and other fruits is very cumbersome, but nowadays some technology has been developed. Ozonated water treatment will be remove partial insecticide from the vegetables and other fruits. These are the fruits and the vegetables with grains with pesticides. So we have to say no to plastics. Our country is still, the people are fond of using these juices and tea. Even some agriculture field and workers, construction workers, they are not carrying any vessel to bring the tea. They are bringing this tea in a polythene bags. Previously, they used to take on plastic materials or stainless steel material or any other copper material to bring the tea. Now, simply they are empty hand. They are going to the tea shop. They are taking around 10 tea or 15 teas in a big plastic bottle packet, and they are coming and disposing in the plastic cups. While they are coming from the tea shop to the particular site, it will take nearly 10 minutes to 15 minutes, 20 minutes also. Whatever the chemicals are there in the polythene bags, like phthalates, the phthalates are plasticides and polyethylene, hydrocarbons, everything is mixed up in the hot tea they are consuming. It is causing the colon cancer. It's causing the colon and oral stomach cancer. So we have to say no to the plastics. This agriculture field, now the people are aware of that. They are preferring to go for this organic agriculture products, although it's very expensive. Even these sugar cans, agriculture sugar can, they are making this sugar that's raw sugar. That raw sugar is nearly 150 rupees per kg. Raw sugar. That's they are saying organic. So the people are ready to buy that. They don't want to go for these serious consequences. To avoid this serious consequences like cancer and other things, they are ready to buy this expensive product, organic products, to prevent their body from the problems, health problems. High calorie foods and stuffs, and it's also a risk factor for this cancer. So high calorie food, high fat food to be avoided. A large amount of red meat. Red meat means in this case beef, pork, and mutton. These are red meat. That red meat and the salted meat, salt preserved foods are very risky food stuffs which will be causing this cancers, all type of cancers. It should be avoided. Like white meat, like chicken and other things are not having the risk factors. But chicken is also in a way modified chicken only we are consuming, or not natural wild chicken we are not taking. That's also another factor. We are coming to the next. So smoked, fried, grilled chicken are becoming very popular, and chicken shawarma is also very, very popular. These things are one way we are burning. Is making the food makers, they are burning this chicken. This carbon particle is also a risk factor to induce colon cancer, and high fatty food is causing whatever the cancer our body is require. It should be there will be chances for that. We don't know what type of cancer the patient will be getting, but it should be avoided. Genetically modified food, you know that chicken, naturally grown chicken, it will take a long time to grow, but the modified chicken, after the hormone injections and hormonal food and healthy food, it will be grow very fast. This broiler chickens will grow very fast, and normal chicken will take 48 days. It will be of half kg, but the modified chicken, it will be the 45 days. It will be of 1.5 kg or 2 kgs. So this is on the normal chicken, 5.5 weeks, 940 grams, normally grown. And same genetically modified chicken, 5.5 weeks, it's nearly 3 kgs, 2.9 grams. So consumption of genetically modified food cause yearly puberty and cause hormonal imbalance to the women. and featherless chicken, genetically modified pork, genetically modified cattle for a food purpose. This is reason for these types of consequences, cancer and other things. Major another problem we are facing is we are not consuming this proper potable water. And Western countries, every day they are taking several samples of water, potable water, this pipeline water they will take. How much amount of copper is there? How much amount of lead is there? Is there any other contamination is there in the water? But our country is developing now. We have to do this type of testing that will be preventing the people from this consumption of unwanted chemicals. Water contamination is a major reason for this cancer. So this golf course, and it's not familiar in our country, but in Western countries, the golf course, they will spray some other chemicals to prevent these mites. That water will go to the nearby pond or nearby river. That water will be go for drinking purpose after purification. At the time, they will these types of chemicals also contaminating this river water. They are preventing now. But in our country, is we are staying nearer to the agriculture field. After spraying of these pesticides and other things, it will be drained off into the river. That water is pumped into the municipality and other things. If it's consisting a high amount of this pesticide and other things, if the water is not properly treated, that water will be maybe causing this cancer. So water contamination, what are the various compositions are there in the pesticides, phenethroion and phenethroion. These are the what limit is present in the water. We can see this from this slide. Packaged food and beverages, it's consisting of a high amount of preservatives, and it should be avoided. So preservatives, these ready-made food items are kept in the shopping complex for several weeks. It's consisting a high amount of preservatives. If you are taking our newly freshly made food, that's not consisting of these types of preservatives. The preservatives is also a major cause for this immunosuppression and cancer formation. And another lifestyle things are hair straightening and smoothing. They are using various cosmetic products. That products is consisting of formaldehyde, particularly smoothing and straightening products of the hair is consisting of formaldehyde. The formaldehyde is having the causes a chance to induce cancer in the skin of rat. So it should be avoided. See, this one is a scalpel cancer. The scalpel cancer is due to the cosmetic usage over the skin. And the coloring dye also. Dye also is causing these things. The cancer and cosmetic, various cosmetic agents. Nowadays, the westernized people are realized. They have used eye shadows, lipsticks, facial oil, massage, and everything they have done. And finally, they know that they have got these types of problem. Now, gradually they are avoiding. But in our country, we are fond of these types of cosmetic items. We are westernized. We are becoming westernized now. Exposure to metal and other components. The occupational hazards. The persons who are working as a carpenter, they are exposing to some types of plywoods and wood and items, preserved items. What happened that plywoods are made up of chemical substances that is consisting of beryllium, arsenic, cadmium, chromium. That once they are cutting this plywood and other materials for the house construction, they are exposed to that, and they are developing a cancer, particularly lung cancer. They are developing, and exposure to the paint and other chemicals, vinyl chloride. Vinyl chloride is a colorless gas. It's causing this lung cancer. And benzene, it's a cause also this breast lung cancer. Other carcinogen, organic organisms. This bacteria is causing this stomach cancer. This was proven by an Australian scientist. And this Helicobacter pylori goes and settled, preferred in the acidic conditions of the stomach. It will be causing ulceration. After that ulceration, the ulcers will become cancer. So better to avoid sharing of the food items, particularly the persons who are consuming this juice in a party or other place, the same vessel, same cup or bottle will be shared by another person. In the case, if the person is having this Helicobacter pylori in this mouth or stomach, there will be a possibility of transferring these things to the another person who is sharing the fluid. If you are sipping juice, juice is kept in a vessel or anything, that's the same thing sipped by another person, the possibility of transmission. Human papilloma virus, this virus is causing the cervical cancer. Hepatitis B virus is causing the cancers of liver. Again, the hepatitis C virus is also causing the cancer and the liver cancer. Epstein-Barr virus is also very predominant virus is causing the cancers of various parts. So these are the various organisms responsible for cancer. Fungi is also the responsible for cancer. In the home, we'll be keeping these grains and peanuts and grains like peanuts and as well as what we can say cashews, badam and other things we will be storing. If not stored properly, that cashews will be affected with the fungus. That fungus will be start producing the aflatoxin. That aflatoxins like green color shady things were over the grains and kernels. If you consume that one, that aflatoxin will be there on these kernels as well as food grains. It will go for blood, it will go to the intestinal tract, it will be gets absorbed, it will be damage the cell, it will lead to cancer. Impact of radiation on this cancer. Sun, since this thickness of this ozone layer is reduced, cosmic radiation directly coming to the sun at a high intensity. And cell phone towers, computers, X-rays, CT machines, radiotherapy, radioisotopes also have some impact on this progression of the cancer. You can see this incoming sun from the sun. Previously, this is ozone layer. Thickness of the ozone layer was abundant in previous around 10 years, 20 years back. It is start filtering this cosmic radiations coming from the sun, and only this essential and very mild amount of UV and other radiations came to the Earth. Now it's not like that because of this thickness of this ozone layer reduced. This abundant amount of cosmic radiation, UV radiations coming to the Earth. It's causing this skin cancer, melanoma. This is melanoma, skin cancer, but it's not very common in tropical countries and subtropical countries like India, and it's more prone for these European countries, American and Australian, particularly white-skinned people. That's why the people will not be exposed much on this radiation. Always they will be applying the cream to protect the skin, and they will be applying even if they go to the beaches and other outskirts of the home. So in future, this disease also will become very more prone to our country. But although we have got a protection, our skin is consisting of abundant melanin pigments. Because of that, our country people are not exposed to, even if you are exposed to high intense sun radiations, this melanin pigments is preventing us. So now many cases are reporting with the skin cancer. We don't know the reason. Because of this UV radiations passage abundant to the Earth may be the reason for that. This is a various what is the quantity of UV radiations coming from the sun? What are the damages are causing? It's causing the DNA damage and skin cancer. The DNA damage leads to skin cancer. What are the wavelength? That's a nanometer range. It's exposing to the human being from the sun. Everything is determined. The non-ionizing radiations from the cell phone. They are selling the cell phone. Companies are telling that it's non-harmful, but as per the scientific evidence, it should be kept away from this residential area. But always in our country is concerned, this cell phone towers are always nearer to the domestic living area. There will be an impact is there. A lot of reports are there. But in future, it will be very clear reports will be come out from this radiation, ionizing radiation from the cell phone. What is the consequences? Everything will become. And natural food substances are better to control this damage of cells. And this is very, very important. This is a message to the people who are attending this, persons who are attending this say webinar. And natural food products are very important, which will be protect our body from the cancer and other infections. The organic vegetables and fruits. The broccoli is abundant source of antioxidant substances, which is having the naturally protectant property to prevent this cancer. Pumpkins is fight back cancer because it's consisting of abundant beta carotene, and beta carotenes are a type of antioxidants that act antioxidants are preventing this free radical formation and will be inhibit the cancer progression. One of the highest source of beta carotene is from the pumpkin, 17 milligram per 1 cup of this pumpkin. Winter gourd, pusnikai, is also abundant antioxidant property. So ancient history says that Diyaman given this Nellikani to Abhaya. It is not a false claim. It's a true. It's abundant vitamin C source, ascorbic acid, which prevent many diseases of many diseases due to its antioxidant activity. Amla, a rich source of vitamin C, which prevent this oxidative stress and good antioxidant. Physical exercise and yoga. This is very, very important. The persons who are very active and routinely doing this physical exercise and yoga, they have got less chances of these types of cancer and other aging problems. So, what is the current need for in Indians to prevent our battle against the cancer? We need proper diagnosis and treatment techniques. We have to carry out cutting-edge research on cancer. Most very important thing is awareness about the cancer. The social economic status of the people should be improved. Live in a hygienic environment, consuming this healthy foods and a routine health checkup. We are lacking for that. We don't awareness is very less. Even after this government repeatedly telling about this COVID-19, what to be done, what not to be done. Many people are not accepting, ignoring. This awareness is very important, which will protect our body from whatever the ailments. And this is whatever the scientific data I have shown in my talk. It is collected in nearly 22 years studies, whatever I've done. And this part of the study was carried out while I was doing my PhD in Department of Molecular Biology and Biotechnology, University of Sheffield, England. This department is known for 3 Nobel laureates. Starting from the discovery of penicillin, Professor Flory and Professor Dr. Alexander Fleming have got the joint Nobel Prize for this penicillin discovery. And the penicillin notatum was identified by the Alexander Fleming, but the Professor Flory was a professor of Department Molecular Biology and Biotechnology. He was purified. He was isolated the penicillin from the penicillin meta-atom, and that was the first Nobel Prize for our department. And the tricarboxylic acid cycle, the Krebs cycle, was the second Nobel Prize. Third Nobel Prize for the split gene concept, Richard Robert. And the tricarboxylic acid cycle, they have got the Nobel Prize by this, given the Nobel Prize to the Professor Hans Krebs. They were working in this lab. It's a very big lab, and the fourth Nobel Prize they have got by the chemistry department in C60 nanoparticle. This is the place I did my PhD, and got a lot of exposure in that lab. This is my research group in UK, and this is my boss, Linda Partridge and Peter Mo. They are very frequently visiting my lab in Tamil Nadu, our Department of Pharmacy. 2 times he came, 2 times within a couple of 3 years he came 2 times, and she came 1 time. This is me, my research groups and antibody resource centers. Dr. Simon Smith, he is developing a lot of commercial antibody. And this group was helping me while I was doing my PhD they are isolating my monocytes and other things. Richard Robert, he is a scientist known for meningitis. He is a lab group. And this is my US group. I was doing part of the study in Rockefeller University, HIV-related studies, and that study was published in Journal of Virology, Rockefeller University in 2004-5. I was there, and this group is Leonie Ashman and Paulina and Eileen McLean, and these are the topmost scientists in Newcastle University in Australia. I visited their lab to carry out the sperm fertilization study. She is known for that. Eileen McLean is produced a second test baby to the world. Her guide, Dr. Brown, was made this first test tube baby, introduced the first test tube baby to the world. She made this second test tube baby to the world. In the lab, I was working briefly around 20 days in Australia. This is the Harvard Medical School where I was doing my postdoc as a Government of India nominee and WHO fellow. This is my department actually. Annamalai cancer is a very big area, known for even our cricketer. They came and taken this cancer treatment in our hospital only. We were seeing. And Dana-Farber Cancer Institute is known for nearly many Nobel Prizes they have got. They have got 80 Nobel laureates in immunology alone. And he is my boss in Harvard, Dr. Martin Hamler. He is the first discoverer of integrins. His discoveries got a second, his followers got 2 Nobel Prize for anti-cancer therapy using the integrins. In his lab, this is Professor Shannon, known for consecutively her papers are in cell nature science. She is a prospective Nobel laureate in Harvard. I was working in her lab. Is Jason Faradal. She helped me to develop this cloning and other things. And he is Professor Kai Ufambrik is making this T-cell vaccine for cancer. He's also everyone, whatever the persons I'm showing this slides are prospective Nobel laureates. So I did this whole of the study with the help of many agencies, Annamalai University, Ford Foundation International Fellowship I have got from America. I got the one. It's a huge fellowship for my PhD from US, and for my postdoc I have got World Organization Fellowship, and Government of India nominated me on behalf of our country to Harvard University with the WHO Fellowship, University of Sheffield. With that, I complete my talk. Recently, my discovery on cancer published in the official website of America's that's Pan American Health Organization, World Health Organization. They have put my discovery, what I did successfully cloned IGSF8, which will be linked with the cancer microenvironment in the cancer cells, immune cells, and they have this is in that official website. Okay, with that I conclude my presentation. I hope this information will be useful to you to carry out further study. At the same time, if you need any clarification, now you can get clarified. Hello?
Thank you, sir, for talking to us about your work. Here we have a few questions from the audience, sir. Is your drug target in the preclinical or clinical phase? Is it first of class?
Hello, madam. I'm not hearing you. Hello. Hello. Cheryl, just I'm not hearing you. Hello, madam.
Sir, I'll just repeat the question for you. Is your drug target in the preclinical or clinical phase? Is it first of class?
Yeah, that currently we have made the drug molecule. The various preclinical studies like using this cell line study we have completed. Now we have submitted the application to the patent office, Tamil Nadu, and we are planning to go for the further studies. We are waiting for that. We need some huge funding for that to carry out the study in detail. We need for that. We need another collaboration with the Harvard University. We are waiting for that. It's before the clinical study. It's not clinical. It's not come to the clinical study.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Another question is, how effective will small molecules be for the soluble receptors like immunoglobulin for solid cancers?
Actually, that immunoglobulin we are not using as a molecule. The immunoglobulin superfamily 8 molecule, that receptor we have, whatever the receptor which is present in the cells, we are making in vitro, we are making the same receptor outside. That receptor, we are how it's functioning with the cancer cells. What will be its structure? How can we design the drug molecule? Once we have, based on the structural aspects, we have designed the drug molecule using this Schrodinger software. Docking studies we have completed. Now our ultimate idea is, based on the structure of the molecule, we are making a new immunostimulant agent. That immunostimulant agent, whether it is disconnecting the link between cancer supporting cell and cancer. If it is disconnecting or not, that will be our ultimate aim. This molecule will be, I hope this molecule, small molecule, whatever we have designed, so far we have good results. Hopefully we will be getting good results in the preclinical animals models.
So there's one more question, sir. Generally, we know that hot drinks with plastic is dangerous. How about cold or extremely cold beverages? Do they react to plastic? Is that a possibility, sir?
Whether it's cold or hot, the plastic materials are made up of a plasticizer. Actually, hard plastics is not having plasticizer. Flexible plastics are having abundant plasticizers like diethyl phthalate, dimethyl phthalate. The diethyl phthalate is pharmaceutically accepted one. Other plasticizers abundantly present in the plastic material, truly giving the flexibility. You can see that if you buy any plastic paper from the shops, you insert your hand inside that, you see that there will be a sticky material, oily material will be there. Whether it's cold or hot, that material will be easily mixed up with your foodstuff. The cold also, even the cold material also easily mixed up with this plastic material. But more high leaching property, leaching of chemical compounds from the plastic is more with the hard food. Hard food, leaching, we can say it's a leaching. There was a research in Chitra Thirumal Institute in Kerala. There was one scientist. He proved that the usage of plastic material, that materials, particularly pharmaceutical devices like dextrose bottle and other bottles, if they are keeping this dextrose or normal saline, how much amount of these plastics is leached into normal saline or dextrose they have studied. And they have found that some considerable amount was leached into that plastic material, leached into the product. It is contaminating. If it is consuming more, it will be causing this cardiac valve, damaging the valve of heart. It was discussed, it was published many things. So it's a damaging heart, but they have not studied about this cancer and other things. But a lot of reports are currently coming that these materials are also causing colorectal cancer, cancers of the cancer, it's cancers of the colon.
So there's one more question, sir. Are there any phytomolecules which act as an antagonist for TGF-beta?
So far, not made, madam. As per my knowledge, because we are seeing literatures, we didn't see this any phytomolecules are developed against TGF-beta. I don't know, but there is, so far I have not come across with this literature.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we have Mrs. Shruti Vinod to deliver the vote of thanks.
Okay.
Gratitude to Dr.V.Parthasarathy sir for sparing his time and widening our knowledge on the recent advances in cancer. I thank our principal, Dr. M. Ramanathan sir, and the management for their constant support. I thank the participants for being an active audience, and thank you one and all. Thank you once again, sir.
Okay, thanks for this opportunity.